Yeah, it's me. That's right. It is me. It's Ralph Williams here for the Ralph's Opinion Show. And I welcome you here tonight. Every Wednesday night, we're here until 8. Well, we're here till 8:30. We go 7:30 to 8 o'clock with the Ralph's Opinion Show. And then right after that, we go into the, got the wrong thing here. There we go. All right. We got that taken care of. And we go into the Way I See It with me, Ralph Williams. More to talk about today. Lots to talk about tonight here on the Ralph's Opinion Show. The rise and fall of Atlantic City. Next week, we're going to do the rise and fall of Wheeling, West Virginia, and Chester, West Virginia. But first, I want you to hear this.
Is this the man?
Yes, sir.
Is this the gentleman who crashed through Victor Maitland's window? Who disabled an unmarked unit with a banana?
Yes, sir.
Who lured Taggett and Rosemont into a gross dereliction of duty at a striptease establishment?
It's Rosewood, sir. Yes, sir.
Ruined the buffet at the Harrow Club this morning.
Yes, sir.
All right, everybody, there you go. I'm the one who ruined the buffet this morning at the Harrow Club, but I did not, actually. That's from Beverly Hills Cop, the first one. And I'm always getting into some kind of comedy here a little bit. We got to laugh a little bit here on this program. You know, we do a lot of serious talk here, but we gotta laugh a little bit. Some people don't want to laugh. You know, they don't have a sense of humor. You know, they do shows and nothing's funny. You know, I think things need to be funny. I think we need to have a sense of humor out here. A little bit at least, huh? Yep, that's it. You know it. So welcome to Ralph's Opinion. We're here every Wednesday night on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter X platform, and also on the Kick Network. And I want to thank Pensman Sports, who is my monitor tonight. So those of you out there who want to play around, you're going to get blocked. Okay, don't do it tonight, please. I'm in no mood for it. We're getting this under control here, and so I want to thank Pensman because I know he's participating in the show because he is my monitor for this program as well. But also, I want to let's go on Facebook here, see what kind. We have any folks out there tuning in on Facebook here. You know, I don't want to leave you guys all behind either. So let's go into that. See where we are on Facebook here. All right, I made an announcement last night. I'm going to make it tonight again here on this program, and I'll make it on the Way I See It in case you just tuned into that only. But first, we're going to pay some bills. We're in the Mata Heating and Air Conditioning Studio, 724-2010-500. Call Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. Look, fall is coming. Just because the summer's ending, that doesn't mean you don't call Mata. Air conditioning, you know, I know, for the next couple of months, but then you better get your call in now to Mata because Mata's going to, you know, be busy because of me and this program, and my RW Media Productions has made Mata Heating and Air Conditioning have a lot of business. So you can be in the same thing. Just email RalphWilliams737@gmail.com. We'll talk about rates. You get all my podcasts here on social media. Plus, you get all my Ralph reports, and you get my website, www.rwmediaproductions.com, and both radio stations or both radio shows in Pittsburgh as well. And we're also sponsored by Mike Dotson Realty, 410-596-1681. Mike Dotson Realty. All right. Okay, let's all right, let's continue here. We got to see what we got going on tonight. It looks like not a lot going on tonight, but we'll be getting there eventually here as we move along here. Just give me 1 second. All right. Okay, I'm going to make this announcement tonight. My announcement is simple tonight, and that is that I don't know, those of you who know, I have a cataract issue within both of my eyes. My right eye is worse than my left eye. I have to go in for surgery soon. My doctor's going to call me back. He's making arrangements with the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center up in Pittsburgh, who have some great doctors, by the way. I want to let everyone know that. There's some great doctors up there, okay? Great medical facilities. Everything is great up there. They have the world-class doctors. I've been there. I've done it. I lived in Pittsburgh, okay? What I want to say is that I am going to be going for surgery real soon up in Pittsburgh. Please pray for me and my family. I'm going to be going up there to have surgery up in Pittsburgh. I have to go there because the procedure I need to have, they can't do here in Berlin, Maryland. All right, and I live down here near Ocean City. Those of you who don't know, I've moved down here, and this is where I am right now. Okay, so just want to let everyone know that as well. All right. Tonight, we got a lot to talk about. Trump, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Atlantic City, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Russia, Ukraine, Israel's going after Gaza. We got a lot to talk about here tonight. And the storm on the coast. How about that? All right, that's making national attention. All right. Then later on the way I see it, I got some news for you about Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro to make your head spin. Okay. All right. And I'll be sharing that news with you as well Saturday on the Ralph Williams, Tony Moreno show on 1250 AM, The Answer, 92.5 on the FM dial. And wait till you hear this. Josh Shapiro did a severe screw job to the Republicans in the state of Pennsylvania, in the House and the Senate. I mean, I'm talking about a serious screw job. And we'll be talking about that Saturday. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about it on the way I see it. Also, Ocean City coming up with a new law, or the state of Maryland actually is coming up with a new scooter law that could affect whether or not scooters and bicycles are allowed to go on sidewalks. But they're letting the municipalities and jurisdictional authorities make their own laws. I don't like when people do that. I wish if you're going to make a state law, make everybody follow it. That's like when Trump was president first and we had COVID. He says, oh, we're going to open up America. And then all of a sudden, well, I'm going to let the states do whatever they need to do. No. You made a federal law. Let everybody follow it. You did the thing with the homeless. Make everybody follow it now. All right? And I'm getting these. I'm watching these videos on YouTube, about these homeless people who live in cars that are getting attacked now because of this new federal ordinance. They're not allowed to stay in parks. They're not allowed to camp anywhere. And for some strange reason, the police seem to know who these people are. Okay? All right? They seem to know who they are. And for some strange reason, I don't get where and why this is where it is. Okay? I just don't get it. So, but we're going to find out what's going on later on tonight. I'll keep you up to date on that. I've been watching some videos of these folks who live in cars. I subscribe to their channels. I'm interested to see how they survive in living in a vehicle, because they're homeless. They have no place to go. And some of these people, they call this freedom, because freedom of not paying taxes, freedom not have to pay rent, don't have to worry about utilities and things like that. You make your car up to be really nice. And then, you live in your car, you live in some Walmart parking lot, or you live in some state park, or you live out on the street in the community and all that other stuff as well. So, I mean, but I have nothing against those people. That's, they can do their life. They call that freedom. And I'm glad, it's free for them. As they say, it's free to interpret. All right. So, good for those people. I'm really happy for them. I really am. All right. I want to send out a warning tonight. Hurricane Aaron is coming up the coast, North Carolina, Ocean City, Maryland here. and several other the coastal areas in Delaware and all that have closed up the beaches because of this, went all the way up to past New York to Maine. Okay. This storm is not going to hit us, or it's not going to hit anybody, but we're going to get winds. We're going to get heavy rain. We're going to get flooding. There's a lot of stuff going on involved in this. Okay. So, please say some prayers for my friends on the coast here, along with my family as well, as we're going to be, doing some, trying to do some preventive stuff here that's going to, help us with this bad weather here that's coming, with the hurricane and everything as well. Don't forget tonight at 9:00, and every Wednesday night 9:00 on Steel City Sports World. I'm always a guest on there with Luther Dupree, Claudia Rosano, Smoke, and Jim Frazier. And then later on at 10:00, I'll be a guest on Jeremy Ballrick and the kneecap biting, the Motor City Detroit Lions broadcast of Jeremy Ballrick. He does a football roundtable. We talk football, NFL mostly. We'll be talking this tonight as well. 10:00, I'll be on there as well. So you can catch me on some other shows all across the United States here and all across the country as well. All right, Atlantic City. The rise and fall of Atlantic City. Let's talk about them real quick here before we get into the good, the bad, and the ugly of Trump, Ukraine, Russia, and a few other things. All right. I'm doing a series here. 2 weeks ago, I did Vegas. Last week, I wanted to do Atlantic City, but I got jammed up with a bunch of stuff. We had that fire in Clareton and all that other stuff that went on. Okay. So here we are, Atlantic City. Why is Atlantic City so bad right now? They were once at one time, the mecca for sports, the mecca for entertainment on the East Coast. They were the Vegas of the East Coast. And then Pennsylvania got casinos. West Virginia got casinos. Ohio got casinos. Now Delaware has casinos, and Maryland has casinos. New York has casinos. When Connecticut opened up the Foxwoods, that's a casino. And I saw, when my first wife and I used to go to Atlantic City quite often, I saw there a billboard with the Foxwoods there right on the boardwalk advertising another casino. I'm like, really? Come on. So, here we are with that. And it's just been an interesting scenario about Atlantic City. And now they've fallen. Trump's buildings are down. The mayor had them torn down right after he got voted out the first time. And Joe Biden took over, saying, and I quote, when Donald Trump was president, he did nothing for Atlantic City. And then he was frustrated with the way he was treating his employees. And a lot of people don't know this, but Donald Trump, or President Trump right now, that did not own those buildings. He gave them to his ex-wives as alimony for, as alimony for, the divorces. That he gave it to them. So now they have it. They own it. So it's not just because his name's on it, that doesn't necessarily mean he's involved. Okay? But if you look at Atlantic City now, and I've watched some videos, I know some people who put really good YouTube videos on that have said, here we are, nothing. Okay? Atlantic City is nowhere near what it once was. It was the mecca for sports. You had boxing fights going back to Larry Holmes and Muhammad Ali, and you had, and all those fights over the years. You had major sporting events there. You had WWE wrestling there. You had all kinds of stuff. Now Atlantic City is an afterthought. And Atlantic City has lost money ever since Pennsylvania got casinos. They started losing money. The first year, they lost $30 million. The second year, they lost $50 million. Then, of course, here we go, monkey see, monkey do. When it happened next was New York started getting them with the Indians or the tribes or whatever they are up there. Niagara Falls, Canada started getting them. Foxwoods had them. West Virginia had them. Ohio had them. Now Ohio has them. Delaware has table games now. They have casinos now. Maryland now, where I live here, we have a casino here. Okay. So, here we are. This is where we are. This is exactly where we are right now with this. And so, therefore, that's how it's going. Okay. And Atlantic City is nowhere near what it used to be. I'm glad I'm here because I get the best of both worlds. I get the boardwalk. I get to go to the beach. I get to go to, and we have a casino here that's in the racetrack called the Ocean Downs Casino. Okay. I've been there when I came here to do some exploring in March. I was there. Very nice casino. I don't know when their racing is. I do like to bet on the horses and the dog. And I used to bet on the dogs all the time down in Wheeling, West Virginia. All right. Next week, Wheeling and Chester, West Virginia. Two places that made bundles and bundles and bundles of money, and now they're slums. They are slums. Okay. Both cities, both areas. Businesses shut down that used to be open. It was a thriving casino area. But at the time when that was going on, okay, what I want to say is at the time that was going on, Pennsylvania didn't have casinos because my first wife and I, we loved to go to those two casinos. We used to fly to Vegas all the time. We stopped doing that. We went and started going to Atlantic City. Then when West Virginia got casinos, we started going to play slots. I would go to the dog track. So next week we're going to talk about those communities and how it's affecting them now because of the everybody has a casino, and that's exactly what's going on here. All right. And we got the sports nuts here. Oh, thank you very much from the Sports Nuts. As you do know, I am in the radio business. I have two radio shows up in Pittsburgh that I have, and I want to thank the Sports Nuts for that as well. And welcome, Sports Nuts, says Pensman. Pensman's my monitor, folks. So don't start on here. He'll blank you out like a bad habit. All right. So please don't do it tonight. Please. All right. All right. Cyberuski says Ralph's opinion. Absolutely. Thank you. All right. And that's fine. I got you. I got control of that over here, Pensman. Thank you. So we'll take care of it from there. All right. So Atlantic City. The buildings are still there that they tore of Trump's casinos down. Of President Trump's casinos, they tore those down. And again, I'm telling you right now, I know this is a fact. He never really owned those casinos. He gave them to all the ex-wives that he had back in the day. I don't know how many marriages he's been through. Okay. And that's what's been going on. All right. So Atlantic City, what a slum. There, I hear from people who live in Atlantic City that the Atlantic Avenue is starting to become better. Well, good. I'm glad. I might take a trip up there just to see what's going on so I can come back with some better information. All right. Okay. Let's get started with Ukraine, Russia. Russia today did some more bombing in Ukraine. Russia, I don't think, and Putin's full of crap. If anyone sits here and believes that Russia wants to end this war in Ukraine, no, they want stuff. They want it all. And I said to you weeks ago, you can't have it all, Vladimir Putin. You're going to have a little, instead of taking that little inch, you want a mile. You can't have it all. It's that simple. Okay? It's not going to work. All right? You can't have it all. And he wants it all. And the European people who are, part of the NATO and all that other stuff, they want us, the United States, to flip the bill for the security forces to go into Ukraine. But now, President Trump, which we're going to talk the good, the bad, and the ugly later on as we go along here in Ralph's opinion, okay, they want the United States to flip the bill and do all this. No, we're not sending troops in. The UN is getting involved. NATO's getting involved. Let them handle it. It's time now, and I agree with President Trump. It's time now that NATO start waking up and start spending some money and start helping out with this. Because we've given them, when Joe Biden was president, we gave them $300 some million every quarter. We kept giving them money as soon as Zelensky would come with his hand out. I wish I could put my hand out, go to the White House, go in and say, hey, President Trump, I'm putting my hand out here. Hey, Joe Biden, I'm putting my hand out here. Give me some money. Okay? Well, thank you, Pencilman Sports, for saying that this is the best. I appreciate your compliments. Thank you. So as long as everyone behaves themselves, everything will go fine. All right. So, what's your thoughts on the Ukraine-Russian war? Is Vladimir Putin getting greedy? He wants it all. He doesn't even want to stop. He's bombing Ukraine as we speak. But I got to give Ukraine credit, as much as I don't like Zelensky because of the way he came and raided our coffers for his own benefit. Okay? You got $385 million, President Zelensky. Why don't you go out and change your clothes? Okay? All right? You wear the same shirt every time I see you on TV. All right? Okay? And it's not just that. It's just that I think that we need that money for our country, not to supply their country because of their fight against Russia. I get that. Nobody wants to see Russia do any of that stuff. I get that. We helped the Afghans in their Afghan war, and they helped the Vietnamese when we were fighting in the Vietnam War. The Russians did. All right? That's all true facts, because that's all I bring here. All right? All right, that's Ralph's opinion tonight. Next, let's talk about Israel, Gaza. Now, Israel has said they want to take over Gaza, and they keep getting the blame for the famine that's going on there. You know, lack of food, lack of supplies, lack of fixing, lack of this, lack of that. They're blaming Israel. Israel's not involved in this. The United States, when Joe Biden was president, was dumping supply aid to Gaza, which, again, Joe Biden got in trouble with Netanyahu because he was doing this. Okay? You can't have your cake and eat it too. I've said it several times on this program. All right? You just can't. It's not going to work. All right? The way the world is today with the world leaders and some of these people, it's very difficult to have your cake and eat it too. It really is. Okay? So therefore, because of that, you get this. All right? This is what you get. All right? Anybody who thinks that Vladimir Putin is going to succeed in Ukraine has to be out of their mind. Okay? I mean, I'm talking really out of their mind. All right? And that's just some crazy stuff. All right? So please don't sit there and say to me that, oh yeah, Putin's going to get his way. No, Putin didn't get his way with Donald Trump, with President Trump. And that's Ralph's opinion tonight on that. And Ralph's opinion tonight on Israel. I'm glad Israel's going to take over Gaza. They have a problem over there. There are good Palestinians. So please do not think that I have no problems with anybody. But I have a problem when the Palestinians just sit there and let these Houthi gangs and all these other people start rapping and rolling around and making your life miserable. But you sit there and you complain about what Israel and the United States are doing, but then you don't do a damn thing except sit there and complain. All right? That's Ralph's opinion tonight. Next, President Trump, the good, the bad, and the ugly. All right, let's get started. Ugly. All right. Ugly, ugly, ugly. Let's see what we can work on tonight with this. Everyone's saying the big, beautiful bill is ugly. It looks ugly, but I think it's going to help our country. And let me explain why. There are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people that sit out here on Medicaid that don't belong. There are people, thousands and thousands and thousands of people on Medicare that scam rob and steal that don't belong. Okay, excuse me. There are thousands and thousands and thousands and millions of people on Social Security that don't belong. Okay? And this fraud, this scam stuff, this failure to go out and work has made it to where Social Security could be out of money by 2031. And all President Trump is trying to do is fix this. So it's not out by 2031. Okay? All right? Is the big, beautiful bill ugly? Maybe. Maybe it is. Okay? All right. Bensman, is that okay to put up? You're my monitor. Let me know. I can't really see it real well. My eyes are bothering me. I got this new eye drops I'm using called Zybra. I just got them today. Okay? So. But anyway. And also, on the way I see it coming up later on, we're going to talk about a shortage of medical people. That is disgusting. And I'm coming to find out now it's happening up in Pittsburgh now. Okay? JD says it's good to put up. Okay, well, we'll see what he says. No, says Pensman. Pensman's my monitor. Thank you, Pensman. Okay? Not good to put up. Pensman's my monitor. All right. JD, welcome to the program, by the way. Thank you. Haven't seen or heard from you for a while. Seemed to have disappeared, at least on my programs, more or less. That's fine. Say hello to some of the folks. There you go. The good, the bad, and the ugly of President Trump. Now, is this good or is this bad? He had the summit with Putin. Didn't include Zelensky. Up in Alaska, in Anchorage. Okay. Some people say Putin got the best of them. That's bad, if that's the case, and I don't think it is. Okay. All right. So, Putin, I don't think anybody can get the best of President Trump. Oh, Blake. Yes. Hello, Blake. How are you? Thank you. Thank you for the banners. Thank you, Blake. Appreciate you for being on. Okay. But is that bad or is that ugly or is that good? I think it was a good meeting. Now he met with Zelensky. And Zelensky didn't come in with his hand out this time because in February, he tried to come in and he tried to tell President Trump and J.D. Vance what he's going to do. And you know what J.D. Vance told him? You're doing nothing. We're here. This is us here. We're not giving you anything anymore. We're done with you. Because you've come here and you've taken our money and you've done, and our weapons and everything else that the prior president who couldn't find his way out of a paper bag gave it to you. Okay? But this time Zelensky come in with an open mind. He wants peace. Everybody wants peace. So now Zelensky and Putin have to sit down with the foreign leaders, and Putin could get arrested because he's involved in being charged with war crimes. All right. So, good, bad, or ugly? What do you think? You think it's ugly that this meeting's happened separate, or do you think this is President Trump just doing what he needs to do to get this done? I think it's good. The bad part about all this is he's getting negative press saying that Putin didn't really do Zelensky coming separate. Okay, it's going to be hard to really get these people together, So. All right. So, good, bad, or ugly? I think the ugly part about all this is the press that's come out on all this. That's the ugly part about this whole thing with this whole debacle. And now it's ugly too, because now President Trump we have to get involved in the Israel thing. And, here we are. They're still fighting Gaza. We're trying to break that up and get peace there. All right. But the ugly part about this was when President Trump said when he was trying to run again for a second term, that he was going to have the war over in 24 hours. And it didn't happen. So that's ugly. What's bad? This big, beautiful bill. Could be bad, could be good. We'll see. We have to look at this in different perspectives here. People are looking at, well, there's going to be all these people out of Medicaid, out of Medicare, out of this, out of that. Well, there's a lot of fraud here. And if you saw some of the reports, the breakdowns of the fraud, you'll know what exactly it is. All right. That tonight is Ralph's opinion on the good, the bad, and the ugly of Trump. All right, I'll be in touch, Blake. I'll let you know if there's anything else. Yeah, I'm fine, JD. How are you? I'm doing good. I get who you are. You're not the JD I thought you were. I know who you are. Okay. Trying to play games. I get you. You won't leave it go. That's all right. I'm not worrying about it. All right. Stay tuned. Coming up next, The Way I See It. So stay right here. We'll be back. Thank you. Please be safe. If you're just listening to this show only, coming up, The Way I See It. We'll be back shortly.
Welcome to another edition of The Way I See It with your host, Ralph Williams. And now, without further ado, Ralph Williams.
Oh, yes, you know it. It's time for The Way I See It with me, Ralph Williams. Right now, there's some Van Halen for you. Oh, you know it. Some of my favorite music growing up and also some of my favorite music still now. What's some great musical material by Van Halen when Sammy Hagar was their lead singer? I got to tell you, there was, one good thing about Sammy Hagar was he was able to, work, play the guitar. He was a good songwriter, and David Lee Roth just kind of sang and goofed around and he's Dave. I mean, come on, he's David Lee Roth. So, but anyway, all right, we are going to get started here. It's the way I see it. Thank you for being part of the program tonight. My name is Ralph Williams. Those of you first-time watchers of the program, we do Ralph's Opinion to start off, and then coming up here at usually at 8 o'clock. Sometimes we're a little afterwards because we get into some conversation. We are here for the way I see it. All right. So we're a studio sponsor here, and I'm going to put that up in a second. Mata Heating and Air Conditioning, 724-201-0500. You live in Western Pennsylvania, give Mata a call, 724-201-0500. Mata Heating and Air Conditioning here at Studio 10 in Berlin, Maryland, right outside of Ocean City, Maryland. And we're going to be talking about what the hurricane coming up the coast. We got a lot to talk about here today on the way I see it tonight here. And also Mike Dotson Realty, 410 area code 596-1681. Mike Dotson Realty. Look, somebody asked me about a B&B. Forget the B&B. Call Mike for a short-term rental, 410-596-1681. He also has rental units available. He also will sell you a home that you may want to use as a rental or a summer home or something like that. Give Mike a call. That number again, 410-596-1681. Ocean City, Maryland, real estate agent Mike Dotson, okay? All right. I said this on the other show, and on Ralph's Opinion. If you just tuned in now, because I know some people like the way I see it and don't like Ralph's Opinion, that's fine, okay? I get that. That's the purpose of having two of these shows together in a course of 1 hour, a little over an hour, all right? Okay. I have to have surgery on my right eye, and I am going to be probably off for a little while with my shows. I will let you know when that happens. I will let you know what's coming up, and I will let you know what's happening with it. Okay. I have to go to Pittsburgh. I have to go back to Pittsburgh, and I'll be there for about 2 weeks. I'm going to try to put a show on here and there. It all depends on how I feel. I have to spend a few days in the hospital. I have to go up there for a procedure on my eye that can only be done in Pittsburgh. Okay? At UPMC, University of Pittsburgh Medical Center. I'll be up there visiting relatives and friends while I'm there, and then I'll be back here at Studio 10 here in Berlin, Maryland. As we move along here, RW Media Productions. As you see, I have my new hat on. I've been wearing it for a couple of weeks now. So, there we are with that. And so, but anyway, let me see what we got here. All right. Okay. What's this now? You know what? I don't even care. I don't. You guys are something else. Yeah, Blake, I am going to go visit him. In fact, I'm going to tell him, he lost his election. I am. You're right. I will be doing that, Blake. Thank you. All right. Why am I going for surgery? Because I can't do it here. I have to have a special procedure done, and it can only be done up in Pittsburgh. That's the answer to your question. Okay? Thank you. I have cataracts in my eyes. That's what made it happen. Okay? And I'm not going to go any further with that. All right? So pray for me and my family on that. Pray for me and my family as well. I will appreciate the prayers because I live along the East Coast here. And we're going to be having issues with some weather because of Hurricane Aaron. I want to say this, please. Anybody out there, do not go to the beach. The beach is closed. The ocean is overflowed with waves. Do not go to the beach. Ocean City's beach is closed. Bethany Beach, Rehoboth Beach, all those beaches are closed, going all the way up to the East Coast, all the way up to New Jersey, New York. All those areas up there are closed. Okay? And I've said this many times, stupid never takes a vacation, which means somebody will be stupid enough to operate a boat and try to go fishing, and their boat's going to go capsize. Then we have to send emergency personnel out to go get them and everything else. Please, everyone, please understand. This is severe. All right. And I know a lot of you out there don't care about public safety. You really don't. Okay. Because if you did worry about and concern about public safety, you wouldn't be so stupid enough to want to do any of those things. Okay. All right. You'd be stupid enough that you don't want to go and get out when you're told to get out. When there's a state of emergency and you're busy screwing around. I was out today. There's people everywhere buying toilet paper, crowding up the store, getting their money out of the bank, doing, the parking lot at the drugstore. All right. And I went and I had to go to the dispensary because I'm on medical marijuana now. And I had to go to the dispensary, go pick my stuff up. That was even busy. I was there for 2 hours, almost an hour. All right, because it was busy. Okay. So it is getting busy. People are starting to go around buying, panicking a little bit and that kind of thing. So all right, Brian says, and welcome Brian Pettit, who has Tiger Stripes Media. I'm going to put his banner up here if I can find it here. There we go. All right. Okay, there it is right there. Tiger Stripes Media. There we go. All right. Participating in Brian's events. Brian and I are going to be getting together along with Pensman Sports. We're going to be doing a college football wrap-up show every Sunday. We've invited Leo Haggerty from Amped Up Sports. He's going to be checking in with us as well. And we're going to be talking about all the college football games across the country, everywhere, including Pitt and Clemson. Pitt from Pittsburgh, and Brian, he covers Clemson. So we're going to be not only just talking about some things, we're going to be talking about everything else as well. All right. All right. Thank you, Pensman, for participating in the show. Blake, thank you. JD, thank you. I know which JD it is now. Thank you. Keep trying to come on here, covering yourself up. I know who you are, and I wish you'd quit messing around and, go do your thing with so-and-so. All right. But stay off my air, please. If you're going to act up, cause problems. That's why Pensman's my monitor. All right. Let's talk a little bit about some stuff here in Ocean City. Ocean City is planning on having a law, and it's actually in the whole state of Maryland, but now, and here's what bothers me, and I said this earlier. Why in the world would you make some kind of a law and then go and say, okay, it's good for the jurisdictions, it's good for the we made a federal law for homelessness and getting rid of tents and everything, but I'm going to let the states do their own thing. Then why do you make a federal law? Why do you make a state law and then go, well, the jurisdictions do their own thing? No, it's a state law that scooters and bikes will be permitted on sidewalks. Okay? That is what the state of Maryland wants to do. They want to do that. They want to let scooters and bicycles, and also Ocean City passed an ordinance to let the bicycles come on the boardwalk past 10 o'clock, because the boardwalk proprietors, if you don't know what a proprietor is, that's a business owner. Okay. They used to call them proprietors. All right. The proprietors are frustrated because their help can't get out or leave the job on a bicycle without getting a ticket, getting arrested, or whatever it is they're doing illegally. So now Ocean City has come up with a law that states you're allowed to use your bicycle on the boardwalk for an extra couple of hours. And then you're allowed to also use it at a couple hours in the morning extra. Good. That helps the boardwalk businesses who spend all their time worrying about how they're going to gouge people and how they're also going to, charge double at a rock festival, have no food when you get there, this, that, and whatever. I really hope that Rick Meehan, the mayor of Ocean City, starts to understand that you can't do this way. They're complaining now in Ocean City that tourism is down this year. Down. You if you look on the cam, if you subscribe to the YouTube channel for Ocean City's Boardwalk Cam, you'll see 8,000 people there. But it's all young kids that are getting their last hurrah on the boardwalk before they go back to school. And they spend nothing. Okay? I found this out. I did some checking. I'm a talk show host here. I got things I got to take care of. Okay? I got audience out here that wants to know things. And so therefore, yes, I did, Blake. Thank you. I did, but I had to go with that funky plan. And I'll tell you something else that's coming up in Pennsylvania. That's good. It's very interesting that we're going to talk about tonight. All right. Pennsylvania's coming up with a couple different things here as well. All right. No, the beaches are not open. Not here. They're closed. New Jersey's closed. Virginia's closed. North Carolina's closed. Closed. Beaches are closed. Okay. You live in Florida, maybe they're not closed, but they're closed. All the way up the east coast of Maine, closed. Okay? Closed. All right? You understand? Closed. 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 Okay? So I really hope that with some of these new laws and, the tents not being on the beach and all that other stuff and the homeless, whatever laws, that Ocean City and Rick Meehan and the council start to wake up a little bit and understand that you can't keep gouging people, because if you keep doing that, tourism's going to go down yet again. Okay? All right? September's when the second week of September, there's a big rock concert going on here. So that's going to bring some people in. That's going to be interesting. All right? I will not be around that. I refuse. Okay? I'll go to the boardwalk in the fall when there's not many people there. Not that I don't enjoy people. I've been around people on the boardwalk, got me over 2,200 people because of the boardwalk and my efforts there. I pick and choose my spots, like some people do. All right. Okay. All right. That's the way I see it tonight. Next, Pennsylvania's coming up with a law. Well, it's not really a law. They're giving in to the insurance companies, just like Maryland did down here with the house insurance. Manufactured homes cannot get insurance under 2005. They have to go through the state adjustment program, which is what I had to do. All right. So now they're doing it up in Pennsylvania with landslides. They are not, insurance companies are discriminating, and I call it discrimination because that's exactly what it is. Discriminating now against people in Pennsylvania that live where there's a landslide. So now Pennsylvania is coming up with a program like they do here in Maryland for the manufactured homes that's going to help people with landslides get insurance for their homes. Okay? But, the state should not have to do that. Insurance companies should do something and not do nothing and not sit here and complain and cry and not, you live along a floodplain. Yeah. Insurance is supposed to be there to help people, not to screw people. Okay? And I get it. You want to make money just like everybody else. I get that. All right? But I personally have a problem when you go out there and you stick it to people. And that's exactly what you're doing. And you're doing it in Pennsylvania now with those folks who are doing the you know. All right. Yeah, Pensman said that's everywhere, Brian. Okay. Do I have anything positive to share? Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I have something positive to share. My A1C is down since I moved here. My stress level's down. My anxiety is down since I moved here. That's positive. You want positive, JD? I'll give it to you. There you go. I have something positive to talk about. There you go. All right. The ocean air is agreeing with me. Okay. You asked for it, you got it. All right. Thank you, Pensman, for that. No, I don't complain. I just tell it like it is. That's why it's called the way I see it. I don't complain. I tell it like I see it. When somebody's getting screwed over, JD, let me ask you this question. When someone's getting screwed over, what do? Nothing, because you don't care. It doesn't affect you. But when it affects you, what do you do about it? Nothing. Right? Let me ask you this. If you were getting screwed by somebody, you would do it because it's your family, right? But screw everybody else. Who cares? That's where the kind of society that we live in today. Nobody cares about the little businessman down the street that's, that has a business. And instead of working there, okay, thank you for the breaking news, Brian. Appreciate it. Okay. All right. So just continue to say that all I do is complain. All right. I don't complain. I tell the truth. I don't like when people get screwed over, especially my handicapped brethren. I don't like when laziness sets in to where you go somewhere and they're supposed to help you, but then they want you to do all the work. So let me give you an example of that. Let's say you apply for welfare, or you apply for public assistance, or whatever they call it anywhere in your state. Let's say you do that. Okay. Now, if they screw up and give you more food stamps than what you're supposed to have, they make you pay for it. Oh, okay. Well, why should I pay for it when you screwed up? So that's your problem. IRS does the same thing. Okay. I guess that's acceptable to you, right? No, it's not. It's not acceptable to you. It shouldn't be it's not acceptable to me. And what puzzles me the most is a lot of laziness. And then now it's in the medical field. Now in Pennsylvania, I don't know if it's in Pennsylvania or everywhere now. Robert Kennedy's been doing crazy things here. Okay, the CDC head, more or less, the health, whatever he does. Yeah, I was going to vote for him for president too. You can't even talk. Okay, talk like you got marbles in your mouth. All right. Anyway, someone I know is very sick up in PA. They went and got some tests done. Now, I don't know if it's hospitals' policies now across the country. I don't know if it's a federal law. I don't know if it's a state law. But now, no one can give you your test results from whatever MRI or whatever you've done. The doctor has to do it. And they're backed up real bad. So it takes 2 to 3 weeks before the doctor actually calls you and tells you that, oh, well, here's what happened to your test. The assistant can't do it. The janitor can't do it. Anyone that works in the office can't do it. He or she has to do it. And I know a doctor who has 400 patients that he has to call and give them their test results. Why? Because there's nobody there to do it. Nobody wants to work in the medical field. Nobody wants to go through what college, whatever, nursing school, whatever. We live in, and we're still here in a lazy society. And our president is trying to get people back to work to build up Social Security again so it doesn't fail in 2031 because nobody wants to go out and do and work. They're talking about AI jobs. They're talking about jobs all over the country, and we don't want to work. What is wrong with all of you people? Then you complain about this beautiful bill. I think you're the culprit of the problem with this beautiful bill, because you would rather steal than go out and get a job. That's what that is what our society and our country is doing today. All right. Okay. That is what they are doing today. All right. Let's see what Pensman has to say here. There we are. Exactly, Pensman. Thank you. People are lazy. Very lazy. When a doctor has to take, what would he say, 4 weeks or whatever, he's way behind. He's got 400 people that he has to call. He's got enough going on. He's got patients to see. And he's the only person who can do the tests or give the test information back. The assistants can't do it, none of that. Why? Because nobody wants to work in a medical office. And now it's reached to mega proportions to where our medical society, it's affecting health of everybody. You go and you take a test, you get an exam, or you get something done, and you go there and you have to wait 6 years to get your damn test back. All right. So I got JD here telling me I'm negative, but then we got insurance companies up in Pennsylvania screwing over people with landslides. We got Maryland insurance companies here that won't insure manufactured homes. We have all this. I'm out here speaking for the people who won't speak. I'm out here for the people who don't care. I do. Okay, I care. All right. Whether you like it or not, I care. And I'm not complaining. I'm just giving the people the reality of it. That when you come to Ocean City, Maryland, you better take out a loan. And until Rick Meehan and this council in Ocean City fixes it, they're going to hear from me. Because it's unacceptable. You're complaining that you're losing business to Myrtle Beach, to the cruise lines, to Florida, to all these other places. You're losing money. But you don't want to do anything to fix the problem. Instead, you keep raising prices. Instead, you keep gouging people at the hotels. Instead, you keep on doing this, this, and this. Making it hard to park. You raise parking fees. Come on. You want people here? Start doing something for people to come here. Make it enticing. I want to go get Thrasher's French fries. That's why I came. I like Thrasher's French fries, but I wouldn't make a trip down here and spend a day down here just to get Thrasher's French fries. Okay? I come down and go look at the ocean. Okay. Good for you. You want to spend $1,000 a night to look at the ocean? Go ahead. It's your money. All right. It's your money. All right. Let's see what else we got here. I don't see anything else here. I can't even get down to the rest of them. Oh, here we go. Here's Pensman. For fries. Yeah, exactly. No, I'm serious. You think I'm kidding you? Pensman. I watched on the news people that come down here. I drove all the way from Arizona to come here for Thrasher's fries. Oh, my. I sat in traffic for 6 hours to go sit there to get 2 blocks for Thrasher's fries. They're good. It's not like that. I drove to Pittsburgh so I could have a Permani sandwich. Yeah, and the main Permani place down in Pittsburgh, the main one, the staple one that in the Strip District does not take credit cards. The one in the Strip District does not take credit cards. They still don't. Okay? All the Permani brothers up there all have different menus. But the one in the Strip District, the one that started it all, doesn't take credit cards. A lot of people don't take credit cards. A lot of businesses don't they charge fees. They do all kinds. Well, of course, the banks, here we go again. We gave them money years ago, bailed them out. And what do they do for the consumer? Nothing. That's what they do for the consumer. Okay? Nothing. All right? So Maryland is trying to pass a law about scooters and bikes. Ocean City's already done their thing because they let the jurisdictions do whatever they want. Okay? All right? Okay, PA is getting a state program started like Maryland does for modular and manufactured homes because the insurance companies don't want to cover them. They're discriminating. Instead of going to them and hauling them to the carpet, you're kissing their butt. And I have to pay for it. I have to pay for chintzy insurance. How do you think that makes me feel? What would happen if you had a house and you had that problem? You do is complain. No, I'm just telling you what it is. And I tell it like it is. That's why people don't like me. All right, Pensman. I would go down there for a day, only for 3 hours, and go home at night. Yeah, because you have to, because you can't afford to stay at a hotel. I don't know if I told you the story. I had a podiatrist that takes care of my feet. That's what podiatrists do. She told me she had some friends that came down. They came down for the day. They were tired. They didn't feel like driving all the way back to Pittsburgh. It's about a 6-hour, 7-hour drive because people don't know how to drive. That's why. You can do it in 4 or 5 if you can get around the state police everywhere in Maryland and all that other crap. And the Bay Bridge being, closed at times for the wind, and where you have to drive like a turtle, and people, it's all over the slow United States in some cases. But anyway, okay. Try to get a hotel down and couldn't afford one. Really couldn't. Try to get a hotel. Even went to the sleazy motels. $300 a night. You know what they had to do? They had to sleep in their car. Sleep in their car because they were too tired to drive that night and couldn't get a room in Ocean City. That was affordable. They had to sleep in their car. And the people that come down for a day and spend hours down here, they don't spend. The people who stay at hotels can't spend because they don't have money to spend because they pay too much money for the room. Now you want to eliminate short-term rentals, which is an alternative to paying all high prices for rooms at a hotel. Okay? You get it now? I'm not complaining. I'm just trying to help the consumer save a little bit of money and give you some examples as to why Ocean City's government complains every year when tourism is down. I don't want to hear it when you're gouging people. Stop doing it, and maybe you'll get more people spending down there at the boardwalk. All right? And it's not just Ocean City. Disney World's not making money this year. Six Flags is closing parks. Cedar Point is down. I can name you a bunch of places that are low in attendance because people just aren't going there. And they're watching their bucks this year. I heard once again since COVID, I heard campgrounds are up and moving. Every time the economy's bad, campgrounds make money because that's the cheapest alternative to a vacation. Go to a campground, pitch a tent, go fishing, go look in the woods, go play, whatever you do in the woods, whatever. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. I've done it. I'm an Eagle Scout. I've done it. Love camping. Can't do it no more. Okay. And that's my fault. But, I'm cleaning up my mistakes. And I made a lot of them. So, all right. This is the way I see it. We're here every Wednesday. Start at 7:30 with Ralph's Opinion. We talk national topics, including the good, the bad, and the ugly of Donald Trump. Next week, we will talk about Wheeling, West Virginia, and Chester, West Virginia, the rise and the fall of the great casino cities, the great areas that had casinos, and now they're losing. All right, coming up this Saturday, the triple header of Ralph Williams Saturday. Don't forget, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., 12:50 a.m., The Answer 92.5 on the FM dial. Also, 12:50 The Answer, PGH.com, the Ralph Williams, Tony Moreno Show. Lots to talk about this week, including Corey O'Connor, who's running against Tony for mayor. Ed Gainey is out. He'll be getting out at the end of the year. His term is up. He got voted out in the last election. Thank goodness for that. Okay. Pittsburgh has turned into a lawless city, and we'll be talking more about that coming up. All right. The Saturday Sports Show with me, Ralph Williams, Leo Haggerty, and guests of our choosing. This week, Brian Pettit will be joining us, and maybe some other folks as well. You'll find out when you tune in. Saturday morning, 10 a.m., YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, X, Kick, and also on the Huddle Sports Network as well. All right. So, and then to wrap it up, the triple header of Ralph Williams Saturday at 2 p.m., the Sports Corner Radio Show with me, Ralph Williams, Smoke, and Jim Frazier, Claudio Rosano, and Luther Dupree. All right, final preseason game coming up. We'll dissect some of that, and we'll also get into some other things as well. And we have former boxer Jim Jamison joining us. He was a great boxer back in the day, an older boxer. We'll have him on. Claudio Rosano set this up, and he's going to be interviewing him, and we all are. That'll be towards the end of the show, but it's going to be a great interview with him. So tune in to the Sports Corner Radio Show Saturday, 2 to 3 p.m. on 1250 The Answer and 92.5 on the FM dial and 1250 The Answer, PGH.com. I'm Ralph Williams. It's been a great night here for you. See you next week. Don't forget, please be safe. Thank you. And if you live along the East Coast like I do, please be safe. Please be careful. And please, the beach is closed. Stay home. Find something to do. All right? Have a great one.